What's up guys, this is Kyle from Vapor Hut, driven by you, fueled by vapor, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Pioneer4U's newest, I think, device, the IPV4-S. So you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between the IPV4-S and the IPV4? Out of the box, the difference is the IPV4-S goes up to 100 joules and can handle titanium and goes up to 120 watts, where out of the box the IPV4 only goes up to 50 joules, 100 watts, and can only handle nickel. Now, just a few days ago, Pioneer4You put out a software update for the IPV4, allowing it to go up to 120 watts and handle titanium coils. So, as of right now, the only difference between the IPV4 and the IPV4-S is that the IPV4-S can go up to 100 joules. Now, in my opinion, 100 joules isn't much of a difference from 50 joules. It kind of caps off the voltage at a certain point. They're both equally as warm, and I don't even find 50 joules is my cup of tea. I prefer like 30 or 40. So just to show you the difference between 50 joules and 100 joules, we'll do a little cloud comparison. So this is 50 joules on a titanium coil using the IPV4-S. Alright, not bad, flavor's good, a little warm. Let's go up to 100 joules. So right when I hit 66 joules, the voltage is capping off at 7.5 volts. So here's 100 joules. Little bit bigger of a cloud, slightly warmer, but not too much of a difference. And just for comparison, here's 40 joules, what I normally run this at. All in all, we're looking at just about the same vape. Now, if you're not using a tank and you're using a dripper, those joules might make a difference. But as of right now, with the stock titanium coil on the Delta 2, don't really see the point. So let's go ahead and dive into the close-up, and I'll compare side by side the IPV4 and the IPV4-S. So here we have the IPV4 and the IPV4-S. Just by looking at the front, bottom, and top, there is absolutely no way to tell the difference between these two devices. Although you might notice this one is a little more beat up, and you would be right in guessing that that is the IPV4. One side, again, is identical. The other side, the difference is the IPV4-S says IPV4-S on the bottom. Now, if we look at the back side, the IPV4 has this charging port that's basically rendered useless, whereas the IPV4-S, they have removed that charging port. So here is the IPV4-S. We have a spring-loaded brass 510 connection, a USB port for software updates, venting holes if your batteries are getting too hot. So when your device is off, just like every device out there, it's going to be 5 clicks to turn it on. Get the little Pioneer4You logo, IPV4-S, and now it's on. It's going to say check atomizer because we got nothing on here. And if we hit these buttons, we'll be adjusting our wattage or our joules. So to switch it back and forth between non-temperature control and temperature control, you go 5 clicks, and now we are in the menu. And when we hit the firing button, it will take us to the next menu option. So, there's a storm here. So right now it says system on. If we hit up, it goes system off, and now your device will be off. So let's turn it back on. Five clicks to get back into the menu. So now from system, we can go to mode. And this is where it's either power mode, and that's where you're adjusting watts, or Joule, where you're in temperature control. So then we go to the next option, and it'll say exit, and this will just take you out of the menu. And as you can see, this does go up to 120 watts. Now if you want to adjust the wattage, you're going to press down and then up to change it. If you just hit up, it will take you to the next preset. So you can see there it says M4, M5, and these are all set to 120. So let's say preset 1, we want to make 30 watts. Take it all the way down to 30. That's good enough. And then if we, it's right now it says ADJ for adjust. We hit the fire button. And now 27, now if we hit the up button, we'll cycle through all the presets. M4, M5, and now when we go up again, we're back to M1, 27 watts. So we could go up to M2, and let's say we adjust that to 50 watts. Oh, close. Hit the fire button. Now when we cycle through these, go M5, M1, 27 watts, M2, 50 watts. So you can kind of have presets made for whether you have different tanks or you like changing your tanks. Sometimes you like 30 watts, sometimes you like 35, sometimes you like 40, without having to go through adjusting it every time. So let's go back into Joule mode. So now once we're in Joule mode, when we hit the firing button, it's going to say Fahrenheit or Celsius, and we just hit up or down to change that. We go again, and we can change the temperature right here. We go to 450, and we hit it again, and this is new to the IPV4-S and the updated IPV4. We have a coil select, and we can either do Titanium 01 or we can do Ni200. So if it's a titanium coil, you want to be on this setting. If it's a nickel coil, you want to be on this one. And then exit again takes us back out of the menu. Now with the joules, although you can go higher than 50 joules, it will not save the preset. So as we can see, if I go down to adjust, and let's say I take it to, anything will do, 57 joules. I hit fire. Now, let's say I'm cycling through them, it didn't save my 57 joules. So if you want to go over 57 joules or do some number in between these presets, you're going to have to adjust it every time. That's something they need to fix in the next update, I suppose. Now when you are doing temperature control, you want to make sure you lock the ohms when your coil is at a room temperature state. So for example, let me pop back on my Delta 2 with my titanium coil. So it's reading a 0.49. So what I want to do is hold the up and down power buttons at the same time. Set resistance 0.48. Now I can go ahead and use this. If I don't do that, it just won't read right. Sometimes it won't fire it at all. So you want to make sure when you first put on your coil and it's not hot or warm at all, you set the resistance using the power up, power down. Now when you're not pulling air through the tank, you're going to get the dry coil no liquid sign pretty quickly. And that means, hey, if I keep going, it's going to burn in there. Now when you're putting air through it, it works just fine. So the last thing to show you about this device is where the batteries go. So you're just going to go ahead and gently pull this sleeve off. And inside you have your dual 18650s, and then you just pull this tab to pop your batteries out. So that's the IPV4-S. If you already have an IPV4, don't worry about getting this kind of upgraded model. Really, the only advantage is you don't have this charging port. So if you do run an RDA on this device, you don't have to worry about the liquid going into that port. Other than that, I don't think the 100 joules is really much of an advantage. And with the new update, you can run titanium on your IPV4. All around though, awesome device. I really like this. How often do you need more than 100 watts? And you have the option to go temperature control. And this device is going for right around $100. And the original IPV4 is around 80. So if you already got the IPV4, don't worry about picking one of these up. But if you don't, definitely get the IPV4-S. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review and comparison of the IPV4-S and the IPV4. This has been Kyle from Vapor Hut, driven by you, fueled by vapor. Have a great day, guys.